Welcome to Miss Taylor's class video. Sorry, I messed up on the first one, so we're going to try this again. This is take 2. So real quick, a polynomial with 3 terms is a trinomial, just like a tricycle has 3 wheels. 2 terms is going to be a binomial. So a trinomial is made up of 2 binomials. So we're going to real quick solve this the way we did last unit, which is I'm going to use double distribution first. And so we're going to multiply, and do some more multiplication. So our answer is going to be x squared plus, that should be a 2, plus 2x plus 5x plus 10. And then to get our final answer, we combine our like terms. So x squared plus 7x plus 10. I'm going to real quick do this next one as well. So I'm going to do this one in box method. So x plus 7. X minus 3, we get x squared plus 7x minus 3x minus 21. We combine our like terms, and we get x squared plus 4x minus 21. So if we notice in both of these, the way we get the middle term, which in the first one is 7x and the second one is 4x, is we combined like terms, which were we added the last 2 terms of the binomial. So to get the last number, to get the 10 and the negative 21, we multiplied the last 2 terms. So this is a pattern that we can use to factor our trinomials going forward. So if we're looking at this, so to get 11x, we need 2 numbers that add to 11. And to get 30, we need 2 numbers that multiply, M-U-L-T, yeah, multiply to get 30. So that's the crux of what we're doing, is we need to find 2 numbers that add to 1, but will also multiply to 30. So our steps for factoring. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we can factor out a GCF. If we cannot factor out a GCF, we're going to find the product, which means multiply, of C, and then the sum, which means add, of B. And then we're going to use those 2 numbers to write our factors. So let's look through this real quick. So what is our C? So we need a product, which means C, or multiply, of 6. And then we need a sum, which means add, which is our B, which is 5. Because this is our AX squared plus BX plus C. So our C is always going to be our last number, and our B is always going to be the second number. So we need to figure out what numbers we can multiply to get 6. So we got 1 times 6, we've got 2 times 3, and then we've got 3 times 2, but we've already written down 2 times 3, so we don't need to write it down again. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to add them together. 1 plus 6 equals 7, 2 plus 3 equals 5. So what that tells me is that my answer is x plus 2 and x plus 3. Because we needed to multiply to get 6 and add to get 5, which meant that combo worked best. So we can check our answer by using the box method. So x plus 2 times x plus 3. X squared, 2x, 3x, 6. So our answer when we combine our like terms should be 5x plus 6, which means we did it correctly. So again, we need our A, x squared plus bx plus c. Our product equals our c. Our sum equals our b. So a product of 20 and a sum of 9. So I can do 1 times 20. I can do 2 times 10. I can't do 3. And then I can do 4 times 5. So now we need to add them together. 21's not 9. 12's not 9. And so that's our winner. So x plus 4 times x plus 5. So go ahead and check your answer to make sure that it works out. So if you like the table, you can keep using the table, but typically I use what I call an X method. I'm going to put my C on top and I'm going to put my B on the bottom. It's the same thing as the table. It just presents itself a slightly different way. So we know that our C is 8 and we know that our B is 9. So I'm now going to think of every number that can multiply to get 8. I've got 1 and 8. I've got 2 and 4, 3, no, and then I'm back at 2 and 4. So now I'm going to add them together. So 1 plus 8 is 9. 2 plus 4 is 6. We're looking for 9. So my answer is going to be x plus 1 times x plus 8. And I like this because I can give you a handy-dandy guide real quick for our X method. So if both numbers are positive, both your B and C are positive, then both of my factors are going to be positive. If our C is positive, but our B is negative, that tells me that both of my factors are going to be negative. If our top number is negative and our bottom number is positive, it means my bigger number is going to be positive and my smaller number is going to be negative. If both the B and the C are negative, that means my bigger number is going to be negative and my smaller number is going to be positive. All right, so I want you to try these two on your own, okay? And then I want you to fill out these two answers based on those three problems. All right, so you should have unpaused the video. You should have done those two problems and filled in those two questions. So now let's do one. I'm actually going to have you do this one on your own, so pause it and work on it. And we're going to do this one on our own right here. So you should have finished number 6, and now we're going to be looking at this one. So our C is 1, and our B is negative 5. So to multiply to 1, my answer is 1 times 1 is the only thing that equals 1. So we know that the bottom number is negative, so we would know they both need to be negative. So when I add them together, I get negative 2. But if we notice, negative 2 does not equal 5. So if we go through all of our list of factors and add everything together and it does not equal the same number, that tells us that the problem does not factor. And when a problem does not factor, we call it a prime trinomial. All right, I want you to do these last 3 on your own, and then I'll post the class notes sometime later today.